Hi, I'm Billy, and welcome back to Billy's VHS Tapes. Today we're reviewing 2001's Monsters Incorporated, an animated comedy from Disney and Pixar about monsters in the workplace. Let's do some fun facts. The movie was directed by Peter Docter. Monsters Inc. was his directorial debut, and it's the fourth movie in the Pixar lineup. The movie is one of the original ideas conceived at the famous 1994 Pixar lunch meeting, where the team came up with many of the concepts that we know and love today, including A Bug's Life, Finding Nemo, and WALL-E. The movie features one of Pixar's iconic short films that they used to play before their movies. It always felt like an homage to the old days, like when they play a Looney Tune before the movie. For the Birds is the story of some little birds who should have been much nicer to a larger, goofier bird. And when the movie was released on VHS and DVD, another short film was added called Mike's New Car. Also, the VHS is blue, and we all know how much I love different colored VHS tapes. The movie has a star-studded cast, featuring John Goodman, Billy Crystal, Steve Buscemi, James Coburn, Jennifer Tilly, and Frank Oz. The music was composed by Randy Newman.
Left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot.
Monsters Inc. is the fourth out of 9 Pixar films that Randy has composed the music for. The movie's title is a play on words, referencing another movie called Murder Incorporated. The title was suggested as a joke by one of the producers, and the name just stuck. The movie spawned a ton of merch because Disney slapped its name on every product that they could. They also did a promotional deal with McDonald's that featured exclusive Happy Meal toys. The movie spawned several video games. A comic book series, and a manga. And of course, Disney theme park attractions. The movie was a commercial success. It cost $115 million to make, and it brought in over $500 million at the box office. The movie also spawned a prequel in 2013, where we see Mike and Sully meet for the first time at Monsters University. And in 2021, we got a sequel Disney Plus series. The show focuses on new monsters who are struggling to adjust from screams to laughs, as well as Mike and Sully adjusting to running the company. Monsters Inc. is one of those movies that put like a fun spin on bedtime monsters, and I always thought that was really fun. I always thought that was a really fun way to get your kids to not be scared of monsters. I've loved this movie since I was a kid. The animation and the concepts have always stood out to me. So without further ado, let's watch it! Blue tape!
Hey, what the hell? That's not a blue tape.
And now, our feature presentation.
The movie opens with an awesome abstract animation of closet doors, showing us the title of the movie. The door takes us to a kid's room who is just about to fall asleep. But he can't shake the feeling that he's not alone. And just when he decides to ignore it, a big scary monster pops out from underneath his bed. But it turns out, the monster is just as scared as the kid. We zoom out, and we see that we are witnessing a monster in training at Monsters Incorporated. A mega conglomerate company that uses almost magic-like technology in order to harness the screams of children, which they use to power their city. Leave it to Disney to spin breaking and entering and childhood trauma into a fun kids movie. The monster we saw has failed his test, obviously. And the big boss himself, Mr. Waternoose, shows up to let him know that his biggest mistake was leaving the closet door open.
Leaving the door open is the worst mistake any employee can make because...
It could let in a draft?
It could let in a child.
Oh, Mr. Waternoose!
There's nothing more toxic or deadly than a human child. A single touch could kill you.
In a funny twist of events, the monsters are afraid of the children because they think that they're dangerous, toxic creatures. I mean, they're kinda not wrong. The technology they use allows them to link up a doorway to a kid's bedroom, and they're trained to get in, achieve the scare, and get out. We cut to Monsters Inc.'s top scarer, James P. Sullivan, Sully for short, and his best pal, Mike WAZOWSKI. As they prepare for the workday, Mike notices that the new commercial for Monsters Inc. is on the TV.
We're working
you, Mikey.
tomorrow.
The boys then make their way to work, and we see the monster citizens of the city living their everyday lives.
Oh, nuts.
The multiverse theory has been showing up a lot lately in movies. This movie definitely planted the idea in my head that there was a multiverse theory. I wonder what the other Billies are up to in the multiverse. Maybe they're reviewing Betamax tapes, or laser discs, or maybe even CED video discs.
A what?
The multiverse idea comes into play in this movie because the monster world is parallel with the human world. And with the power of their magic doors, they're able to transcend from their world into our world. When the boys show up at work, we're introduced to Mike's girlfriend Celia, who runs the reception desk. It's kind of funny that Mike has one eye and she has 11, so together they have a dozen. Aww. We cut to the locker room where the boys are preparing for their shift, and we're introduced to the villain of the movie, Randall. Randall aims to take away Sully's title and become the top scarer.
Shh. Do you hear that? It's the winds of change. Hey, what a creep. One of these days I am really gonna let you teach that guy a lesson.
As the boys make their way to the scare floor, we're introduced to the best character of the movie, Roz.
Ta-da!
Roz is in charge of handing out the key cards that activate the closet doors, and Mike is horrible at his job.
WAZOWSKI, you didn't file your paperwork last night.
Oh, that darn paperwork.
Don't let it happen again.
Yes, well, I'll try to be less careless.
I'm watching you, WAZOWSKI. Always watching.
The monsters begin to collect the screams and the tubes, and everything's going along swimmingly, until George has to be decontaminated because he got a human sock stuck in his fur.
2319! We have a 2319!
Red alert! Red alert! Red alert!
The scaring floor is also shut down until they can reset, and Waternoose tells Sully that the numbers haven't been good lately, and he fears that the company may go out of business. As the day comes to an end, Mike is on his way to take Celia out for her birthday, but Roz reminds him that he's horrible at his job!
Hello, WAZOWSKI. Fun-filled evening planned for tonight?
Well, as a matter of
And
fact...
I'm sure you filed your paperwork correctly. For once. Your stunned silence is very reassuring.
Since Mike has better things to do, Sully says that he'll cover for him. He heads back to the scare floor and begins to gather up Mike's files. But then he notices that a door's been left behind. With no one around, Sully sneaks a peek inside, but all he finds is an empty bed. As he closes the door behind him, he feels a tug on his tail.
Bucket.
Sully tries to put the kid back in her bed, but he learns that human kids are stealthy little ninjas. And then Randall shows up acting pretty sus. Sully is able to bag up the kid, and then he proceeds to ruin Celia's birthday dinner.
There's a kid here! A human kid! Let's get out of here!
Well, I don't think that thing could have gone any worse.
Two monster bros who have to return an otherworldly creature to its home? And try to figure out how to save the company that powers the entire town? Sounds like a movie plot to me. The boys are able to get the kid back to their apartment, where they plan to hide her until they can figure out what to do with her.
That thing is a killing machine!
Crayons taste like purple.
The kid starts to cry, causing a major power surge. But when Mike hurts himself, we find out that this kid is a sadist, and she laughs at Mikey, causing some foreshadowing.
What was that?
It was foreshadowing, Sully! I just said it! The next day, Sully has come up with the idea to dress the kid up like a monster and just put her back in her door.
I can't believe we are waltzing right up to the factory.
Mike fears the worst, and he name drops some famous monsters who have been banished to the human world.
Just think about a few names, will you? Loch Ness, Bigfoot, the Abominable Snowman. They all got one thing in common, pal. Banishment. We could be next.
But Sully is confident that they can get the kid home without anyone finding out that they were involved.
Everything's going to be okay.
Sully hides the kid in the locker room, while Mike heads over to see Roz so he can get the card key for the kid's door. But with all the commotion the night before, Sully never got a chance to file Mike's paperwork. So Roz refuses to do him any favors. Yeah! Meanwhile, in the locker room, Sully plays hide-and-go-seek with the kid. He's grown a liking to her and has affectionately named her Boo. Mike just wants to get rid of Boo.
Put that thing back where it came from, or so help me! Oh, hey!
But Sully wants to make sure she gets home safe. And when Randall finds out that the boys know something about Boo, he tells Mike that Boo's door will be on the scare floor during lunchtime. But when Sully finds out that Randall's involved, he refuses to let Boo go through the door. And his suspicions are correct. When Mike tries to prove that everything's okay, he's snatched up and taken to a secret lab. Sully and Boo follow them, and they see that Randall's big plan is to extract the screams straight out of the kids' mouths. As the machine inches closer towards Mike's face, it suddenly stops. Randall discovers that the machine has been unplugged, and when he returns, he finds his assistant in Mike's place.
This sucks!
Sully and Boo have rescued Mike, and the trio are reunited. And with little to no options, Sully decides to admit to Waternoose what happened. Waternoose tells the boys not to panic and that they'll get everything back in order. But in a sad twist of events, we find out that Waternoose is actually behind the whole thing, and he banishes the boys to the Himalayas. Mike WAZOWSKI is pissed. And as he and Sully tussle through the snow, they just happen to run into the Abominable Snowman.
Welcome to the Himalayas!
Voiced by John Ratzenberger.
Snow cone?
No, don't worry. It's lemon.
But Sully refuses to give up on Boo, and when he hears about a village that's not far from them, he sleds his way there as fast as he can. Before he leaves, there's a whole back and forth between Mike and Sully about Sully choosing Boo over everything else that he cares about. And it's a real sad moment, because, you know, Pixar has to make you cry because that company runs on tears.
Oh, let me taste your tears, Scott. Your tears are so yummy and sweet. Oh, the tears of unfathomable sadness. Yummy.
Sully makes it back just in time to save Boo. And also Mike comes back because you knew he was going to. The boys get a hold of the card key that they need to access Boo's door, and they make a break for the scare floor. But Randall is hot on their tail, and to get away from him, they take a ride on the Doorway Express.
Try to run, try to hide, break on through to the other side, break on through to the other side.
This is my favorite scene of the movie. It's super fun, it makes you laugh, and it keeps you on the edge of your seat. Boo laughs at Mike getting hurt again, which activates all the doors. And physics really take a back seat as we watch the monsters chase after each other, jumping from door to door and using them as shortcuts to fight over Boo. They're just running around out in the open where humans could just see them at any time. But Randall eventually is seen by humans when the boys banish him to Florida and he's mistaken for a gator.
Mama, another gator got in the house.
Another gator? Give me that shovel. Come here.
Get him, Mama. Get that gator.
The boys make their way back to the scare floor where Water News has a welcoming committee waiting for them. Mike distracts them. And then Sully is able to trick Water News into admitting that he's responsible for the whole ordeal.
I did it! I did it! I did it! Angelica! Oops. I didn't do it! I didn't do it!
Water News is arrested, and we find out that Roz was an undercover agent all along.
Hello, boy.
She's the best. The boys then send Boo home. And then they shred her door so that she can never return to Monsterland again. But what will become of Monsters, Inc. with its CEO in prison and its profits so low? Jesus, that sounds like a real headline that you hear in the news. But Sully has figured out that kids' laughs are 10 times more powerful than their screams. And the company decides to switch up the formula.
I mean, what's the deal with cancer? I have cancer.
Tough crowd.
The switch up is a major success, and the company has achieved record-breaking sales, earning them the front cover of this week's Business Shriek.
F you, Mikey.
But Sully is having trouble feeling accomplished because he misses Boo. And we get an impossible ending where Mike claims that he gathered up all the shavings of Boo's door,
Inconceivable.
granting Sully the power to see Boo once again. The movie fades out with Sully's smiling face as he hears Boo call his name.
Here's Johnny.
And that's it! That's Monsters, Inc. A funny spin on corporate greed and what some people will do to keep themselves in power. Do I recommend it? I highly recommend this movie for everyone. It's a super fun watch that the whole family can enjoy together. The animation is iconic and has inspired many other projects to follow. The movie makes subtle jabs at corporate America while still maintaining its innocence to be labeled as a children's movie. And Billy Crystal and John Goodman make a perfect duo for a buddy comedy. What do you think of this movie? Do you believe in monsters? You know, like creatures and cryptids, not like Harvey Weinstein. Are there things that go bump in the night? And do they secretly come out of our closets? Post your answers in the comments below. And hey, thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, make sure you like and subscribe to stay updated on my channel, and maybe even consider sharing the video. Also check out my social media pages, where I post updates on this channel and pretty much whatever I want. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching, little monsters.
You and me, you must together.
Ha 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 ha!